monde, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to rate some of the most famous Parisian landmarks, Parisian monuments that you see in Emile in Paris, for example, in all like shows and everything that are the most touristy, I guess. So I'm going to rate them because if you don't know, I am French and I live right next to Paris, so all these monuments, all these landmarks I went to multiple times, so I do have a lot of experience and kind of like feelings about all of them. So I thought it could be fun to rate them, give you an idea of what to expect for each of them, I guess. So I'm going to rate them with little French flag because I thought it could be cute and it's on topic, so why not? So c'est parti! So number one, of course, I'm going to talk about the Eiffel Tower, the most famous monument in Paris, probably the most beautiful, amazing and magical. So like I said to a lot of people, like if you come to Paris, don't forget to see the Eiffel Tower at night because of course during the day she's still pretty magical, pretty like beautiful to see. But at night it's something else, like it's really magical, especially when she starts sparkling. So I'm going to rate it probably like a 4.5 out of 5. And you're going to wonder like why not a 5 out of 5? It's just because of course when something is super beautiful, super touristy, it also has some like most like annoying sides of it, I guess. So the Eiffel Tower, like you have a bunch of little things that's going on around there. First off, which is a little sad, but it's understandable, but it used to be completely open at the bottom, like you could just walk freely like around the Eiffel Tower and just go into lines to get tickets to go up the Eiffel Tower. But because of all the attacks that went on a few years ago, now they closed up all around the Eiffel Tower and you have to go through like, how do you call it, like, you know, checkings, I guess, to make sure you have nothing going on in your bag and stuff like that before you go under the Eiffel Tower. And we used to not have that, so that just get it a little more annoying and a little less beautiful. Then you have of course the crowds. I hate crowds, but obviously when you go to like touristy monuments you will have crowds, and under the Eiffel Tower it can be pretty long, like sometimes a few hours depending on when you're going. So you have a lot of people, so that gets a little annoying sometimes. And the last thing is all the touristy traps, I guess, you will see under the Eiffel Tower. People trying to sell you wine, people trying to sell you like little Eiffel Towers and stuff like that. Sometimes it's just annoying just because they reach out to you so much and always try to talk to you. So it just gets a little annoying. I like to be, you know, really free, like no one talks to me and just doing my thing. So that's why I'm not giving it like a 5 out of 5. Because I'm talking about the experience of the monument, not just the monument itself. Otherwise it would be like a 10 out of 10 because I find it so beautiful. But I feel like just the experience of the monument is not perfect because of all the like touristy things that are going on, obviously. So number 2, I'm going to talk about the Arc de Triomphe. So I actually went to the Arc de Triomphe so many times, like way too many, but I actually only went to the top of the Arc de Triomphe for the first time for Valentine's Day this year. I don't know why, I never went to the top before, and it was such a good experience, really fun, really beautiful. And because a lot of time when, you know, like in my heart it's a bit too much, but what I like is especially the view from the Eiffel Tower because you can get really high up, and I feel like it's just so beautiful because you walk around the top of the Eiffel Tower and you can see really all of Paris, and especially at sunset it's so beautiful. I recommend to go just before sunset so you can see Paris like light up, like before you see the Paris like during the day, and then you wait until sunset and you see the sunset and you see everything light up, and it's just super beautiful. So I do love the view from the Eiffel Tower, but of course, making sense, once you're like actually seeing Paris from the Eiffel Tower, well then you don't see the Eiffel Tower. So I feel like the view from the Arc de Triomphe is really nice for that, is that you have a nice view on the Eiffel Tower. So it's really beautiful. It's maybe a bit less impressive than maybe the view from the Eiffel Tower just because you're not very high up. So you don't see that much of Paris, like you see especially everything close to the Arc de Triomphe, all the different streets, and which is really nice to see, but it's not as impressive because you're not very high up. So I probably give the Arc de Triomphe like a 4 out of 5, just because it's really beautiful. Like the actual monument is really beautiful. You have a lot of little statues and everything, so it's really nicely done, and you can just walk all around it and see all the little details, which is really beautiful. And you can go to the top to see a nice view of the Eiffel Tower and all of the streets around the roundabout that is the Arc de Triomphe. But at the same time, I feel like because it's not as impressive of a view, and because you're going to judge me, I'm pretty lazy about that, but I hate stairs. I really hate them. I get so tired walking upstairs and then walking down, and I feel like I'm just going to fall because it's just so long, especially because the Arc de Triomphe, the stairs are like, I don't know how you say it in English, but they are going round and round like this. So when you go down, like I don't know, it makes you like your head just feels so freaking weird, and I felt like I was going to fall down like and just, I don't know, it just felt really weird. But I felt like I wasn't the only one, because the girl behind me, I heard her like complain a little bit like I'm going to fall, just because it feels weird to just go round and round and round and round. But anyway, so just because there are so many stairs, I feel like it's a little more annoying. And the last thing about it that is a bit annoying, I guess, is when you're on top, of course, so no one is falling. They put a bunch of little spikes like all around the top of the Arc de Triomphe. So it's a bit more annoying to really enjoy the view, because you have a bunch of big spikes right in front of you. I feel like my explanation is really suck. I'm just going to put some pictures, but just little things that takes away a tiny bit of the experience. Next is the Champs-Élysées. So it's like the huge avenue, the huge street right in front of actually the Arc de Triomphe. It goes to the Arc de Triomphe. And I think right now it's mostly known because it has a bunch of stores going on in all the Champs-Élysées, and also a lot of things going on in Paris, like parade and stuff going on, sometimes festival will go down the Champs-Élysées. And for this one, I'm going to rate it actually a 2.5 out of 5, just because I felt like I need to give it like, I cannot put it under 2.5, but I feel like I cannot give it more either, because I don't really enjoy it. So personally, I don't really like it for multiple reasons. First, way too crowded. Like again, it's way too crowded. I feel like you can't really enjoy walking down like the Champs-Élysées sometimes, just because there are too many people, and I don't like you know, you walk and every time you have to go around people. It just annoys me like really quickly. Of course, when there are times during the year where there are less people, it's more enjoyable, but most of the time it's always a street that is extremely crowded, so I don't really enjoy it. Then we have a bunch of stores and famous, like, you know, you have a bunch of like luxury stores and other like car shop and stuff like that, but it's not really what I enjoy personally. So it's not like, I do like to do some shopping, but honestly I don't like to shop when there are too many people. I don't really shop in luxury brands just because I don't really have the money right now for it. So a bunch of stores over there, it just doesn't interest me because of the crowd, because sometimes it's too expensive for multiple reasons. So that's why I'm not a fan of the Champs-Élysées, like the avenue by itself. And it's kind of loud as well, because you have all the cars, and I feel like it's just busy and loud, and I just really kind of a person that enjoys more like quiet, like more relaxing, chill parts of Paris, I guess. Next one is the Louvre, so the most famous like French museum, the Louvre. So this one I might get some hate for if I say too many things, but I think I'm going to rate it like a 3.5 out of 5, just because the Louvre as a museum itself is beautiful. You have so many famous paintings there. It's really huge, so you do have a lot of different topics going on. I don't know if it's like topics, but you know, sometimes it's like separated by different era or type of paintings, and then you have like some statues on one side, like different type of like art going on. So because you have such a huge space, it's pretty well organized. And of course, some of the most beautiful, famous paintings in the world are in the Louvre Museum. So of course, as a museum itself is amazing. However, just because of my liking, I feel like I don't really enjoy it for multiple reasons. You're going to say, one of them you're going to know because I just repeated like multiple times, but the crowd. It's like super crowded. You have to wait sometimes hours outside to go inside the museum, and then once you're in there, I feel like it's not as enjoyable just because it's so crowded. Sometimes you just can't really find somewhere to sit and enjoy the painting, and Also because it's so big, I feel like I get overwhelmed and tired pretty easily, and I prefer like just smaller museums where you can really take your time and enjoy the museum and it's not overwhelming because it's not that big. I feel like it's not really relaxing, and it's a bit stressful to me because it's too many people, too big, and yeah, I don't know. I don't really enjoy, I guess, the experience of the museum. Also, I feel like as a tourist, I feel like I hear a lot of tourists going to the Louvre just to see the Joconde. I feel like maybe in English you don't say Joconde. Let me check online how you call that. So actually I just checked, you just say Mona Lisa for the painting. But yeah, basically the Mona Lisa, a lot of people just go there just to see the Mona Lisa. And I think it's not worth it. Like if you're a tourist, you don't have much time in Paris, don't go to the Louvre just to see the Mona Lisa. Of course, if you're someone who loves museum and want to spend hours in the Louvre just because you love it, then I feel like that's fine. Enjoy your time, do whatever you want to do. But if you're someone, you only have 2 days in Paris and you're like, oh, the Joconde, the Mona Lisa is so famous, I need to see it, and then you do like 2 hours queue to go there and then walk super fast, just go to see the Joconde and leave. I feel like it's not enjoyable, you're just losing some time, and a lot of people actually are going to get disappointed because the Mona Lisa is a really tiny painting and it's on a wall. It's kind of like, I think you have like little fence in front of it so people don't touch it and don't get too close to it. And also you have all the people, like all tourists going to see her especially, so it's pretty crowded just in front of it. So I feel like you're going to take 2 pictures, you're going to see a bunch of heads in front of it because everyone is like trying to get the closer as they can as possible, and the painting is going to be really small, and I feel like it's just not worth it. Otherwise, if you want to just see the outside of the Louvre, I recommend it for sure because it's just beautiful from the outside. All the older buildings are pretty amazing and beautiful, and they have a lot of little details, and then it kind of like breaks with the more modern glass pyramid that are in the middle of the court. So the view of the outside of the Louvre is beautiful, I love it. Also you have little gardens next to it, so you can relax and go chill a little bit in the gardens as well, so I still recommend that. But going actually inside the museum depends on how much time you want to spend there, how much time you have in Paris. So the next one is the Notre Dame Cathedral. So I haven't been there since the fire went on, like, was it last year? 2 years ago? I don't remember. But I haven't been there since, so I can't really tell now. I don't even know exactly what you can visit now. So I will say before that, I will rate it like a 4.5 out of 5. Just because, one, it's free, like to go in the main sanctuary. Of course, I think you can go up. I never did it. I think maybe not now, but you used to be able to go in the tours, like in the little towers, I mean. I have never done that, but the free part, the sanctuary, is worth it because it's free. It's beautiful, it has so many details, it's huge, it's really impressive. It's a beautiful cathedral, of course, so completely worth it. The queue was never too long. Like sometimes even if it's really crowded, it goes by really fast just because they let right people in. You don't have to pay, so it's free, so you don't have to pay anything. You just have to show your bags, I think, when you enter, maybe, and then you just go around the sanctuary, go see it, and then go back out. So it goes by pretty quickly, so you don't have to wait for hours. Most of the time I went there, I waited maybe maximum like 15 minutes, so honestly it's fine, not very long, I feel like. And yeah, so it's really fun. I will say it's just not a 5 out of 5 for maybe 2 reasons. I feel like the first one is, or 3 maybe reasons, I don't know. The first one is there are a lot of pigeons. Do you say pigeons in English? Pigeons all around the cathedral, which I hate pigeons, and so it's just makes me a little more annoyed when you wait in the queue and there are pigeons everywhere flying over you, and I just don't enjoy it. Second thing is just that it's beautiful and impressive, but I've seen some even more beautiful cathedrals, so it's not the most beautiful cathedral I've ever seen in my life, but it's obviously a beautiful one and impressive one, but I just feel like it's not the most beautiful I've seen. And number 3, I would say just sometimes a bit annoying, because if you want to go to the cathedral, especially if you're not from Paris, remember, if you go to Paris like as a tourist, Most cathedral, most churches in France, you're supposed to like be covered to go inside. So sometimes they will refuse you to go inside if you, I don't remember exactly the rules, but if you're wearing skirts, I think if you have to have like your shoulders covered. If you don't have your shoulders covered, you're not supposed to go in the church. And most of the time they will, like all the time I think, there's a guy that verifies your bag and how you're dressed. So if you're not dressed properly, they will not let you enter. And actually one of the last time I went, I was with a friend and we were going, and the girl before us, which wasn't with us, but the girl before us, I think her shoulders weren't covered, so the guy said, sorry, you can't come in. And so I actually had an extra little jacket, so I gave it to her so she can enter, so she can cover her shoulders. Especially, you know, sometimes you forget because during the summer you might be in a dress or something and want to go to see the cathedral, but you need always to have a little tiny jacket or something to cover yourself to go inside. Next one I'm going to talk about today is the Jardin du Luxembourg. So this one is a bit weird because it's not perfect, but I still feel like I needed to give it like a 5 out of 5. I feel like, yeah, 4.5, no, 5 out of 5, I guess. I will just give it there. So the Jardin Luxembourg, I love it just because it's one of the part of Paris where you can relax and kind of enjoy nature. It's not completely nature overall, but you have a bunch of trees and still really nice to be able to have this little green space in the middle of Paris. So it's really fun. You have so many seats and like benches and stuff to sit down. The only, I guess, more like negative points are really crowded, but I feel like it's not like you can find places where it's less crowded. Like it's really crowded at the middle because you have a fountain where also children can rent like little boats. They can you know, not drive, like command on the water. So you have a lot of chairs around there, and so it's really crowded right there. But on the more like foresty part where the trees are and everything, there are a tiny bit less people, so I feel like that's what I prefer. So I go there usually. So you need to go not right at the entry, but a little further on the other side. There are less people. So I still really enjoy it. And you have like little statues everywhere. You have a few little cute fountains. So I feel like it's just a really nice, relaxing, beautiful park. So I totally recommend it. And yeah, so if you want to just chill, relax, if you want to kind of get away from the city and be more like in a little green space, the Jardin du Luxembourg might be for you. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for me. So last landmarks, part of Paris actually, monuments thing I'm going to talk about today is Montmartre and Le Sacré-Cœur. So it's one of the parts of Paris that is the most famous, and I understand why. So one thing is that it kind of gets you away from the more like bigger Paris environment. It's kind of more chill and relaxing, looks a bit more like a village still. And it's a little mount, and on top you have Le Sacré-Cœur, so it's really impressive as a view. Also from the bottom, because you see all the mount and the Sacré-Cœur, but also once you're on top, you will see like have a pretty nice view on Paris. And it's pretty chill and relaxing, even though it's really crowded. It's a lot of people are going to Montmartre, even a lot of Parisians. So it will be really crowded. But something is weird is even though it's really crowded, it feels still kind of chill. Just because people would just sit down, kind of enjoy the view, people will play music, and even though it's crowded, I don't know, it just feels more relaxing than when you're next to the Eiffel Tower, for example. So I still feel like I recommend it if you want more like a chill, like relaxing day. Maybe go to Montmartre, you know, walk around the little streets and then sit down on the grass, just taking the view. I feel like it's still pretty chill and relaxing. Plus you have the Sacré-Cœur, which is free. So once again, I think some parts you can go up the Sacré-Cœur and pay, but otherwise the main sanctuary is free, which is really nice and it's pretty beautiful. I feel like the monument itself already is really impressive. So I'm going to rate Montmartre and the Sacré-Cœur a 4.5 out of 5 because it's really nice, pretty free basically. I mean, probably you will spend money like at restaurant and everything, but if you want to actually do an activity that is free, you can go to Montmartre, just walk around the streets, go to the Sacré-Cœur. The only, I feel like, negative parts of Montmartre and Le Sacré-Cœur is just because it's really touristy, you have a lot of restaurants that are really expensive and some that are not even that good. So just be careful of what restaurants you're going to go to if you go to eat around Montmartre or the Sacré-Cœur. Try to look up all the restaurants online before. One thing I forgot is it's really steep, so it's tiring. It's not relaxing to go to Montmartre, but once you're there it's relaxing. But to go there you just have to walk a bunch of stairs and it's really steep, so I hate, like I said earlier, I hate stairs and I hate going up. I get tired so easily, like I feel like I cannot breathe and I just look really red like a big tomato, and it's pretty horrible. So I really don't enjoy the part of going to Montmartre and going to the Sacré-Cœur because it's super steep. But other than that, once you're there, it's really fun, totally recommend it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with some of the ratings I gave to the different monuments or landmarks. And I just want to say the ratings are not to compare one to another. Like, it's not because, you know, for example, I think I put like Jardin du Luxembourg at a 5 out of 5, but the Eiffel Tower at a 4.5 out of 5. So it's not that the Jardin du Luxembourg is better than the Eiffel Tower. I gave the rating in like compared to its own thing, like compared to what we think about the Eiffel Tower, compare with the truth about the Eiffel Tower. I feel like that's my rating, not the rating doesn't compare different monuments. If that makes any sense, like I still prefer the Eiffel Tower than the Jardin du Luxembourg, but it's not at all the same thing. But it's just from the experience that we expect from the Jardin du Luxembourg versus what it is, I feel like it represents what it is pretty nice, like a pretty chill green space, which is nice. The Eiffel Tower, sometimes we think it's just perfect, but sometimes it has maybe a little thing, the crowd, people trying to sell stuff that is a bit more annoying. So that's pretty much how I rated it. So let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree, or kind of like ashamed of what I said about certain landmarks or monuments like the Louvre. But other than that, I hope I will see you for my next video. Salut!